Alright, welcome back to today's video. Alright guys, as you all know guys, it is November, and you know what that means. It's almost time for the 2023 Monster Jam Driver Summit. So today guys, I'm going to be making a prediction video, and predicting what the finished tours will look like for the 2023 Monster Jam season. Let's get started right off into a Stadium Series Yellow. So first off, we got Adam Anderson and Gravedigger and Tom Meents and Max D to, of course, be competing. I am predicting that next up in this lineup will be Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. I'm predicting the Marvel truck on this tour will be Todd LeDuc in Thor, Caleb Blood in Soldier of Fortune, David Olfert in Velociraptor, Mike Christensen in Vendetta, Matt Pagriludo in Jester, Nick Pagriludo in Kraken. I'm gonna hope guys that Jamie Garner can keep Overboard and not get El Toro Loco. So I'm gonna lean more towards Jamie Garner going to drive Overboard and Cole Vennard going to drive Black Pearl. Because Jamie Garner did say they're not taking him out of that. Because I'm predicting here's my prediction on why for the last four drivers. Tom LeDuc and Bryce Kenny have been on the same tour with Adam Anderson since 2000. For Bryce Kenny, it's been ever since 2018. He's been on the same tour with Adam Anderson. For Todd LeDuc, he's been on the same tour with Adam Anderson since 2020. Like 2017, 2018, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Todd LeDuc has been on a tour with Adam Anderson. So that's why I'm predicting that. I'm just because with Stadium Series Blue most likely being the last two independent drivers being Team Screen with I'm going Chris Kohler and Joe Foley. So that's why I'm predicting them to be on the Blue Tour as a spoiler alert. So now I'm gonna think they're gonna put the Garners on Red Tour. Because of course we got Florida shows in here, and Jamie Garner does like to run the steps body in the Florida tours. So yeah, that's my completed prediction on this tour. If this tour comes to life, if this tour does come to life, I'm predicting the top three on that tour will be Tom Meents, Adam Anderson, and Todd LeDuc, just like in this past year. Oh, also any of these tour predictions in this video will not be applied to my actual 2023 Monster Jam Series on my pool table. This will not apply to that. Next up, we have Arena Championship Series West, which will feature Christian Anderson and Gravedigger, Tristan England and Earthshaker, Elvis Lanez and El Toro Loco, Bernard Light in Black Panther, Don Wagner in Jurassic Attack, Bailey Shea in Monster Mode Dalmatian. We have Mark Hall in Ramator, and Kirk Kramer in Hotsy. So I'm predicting Bernard Light since he was on the West Tour last year. So I'm just gonna go for him to be on the West Tour again this year. I'm putting Kirk Kramer to drive Hotsy because I think that'll just turn out better than Ramunition. Also, we do have confirmation that we are going to be seeing Red Jester next year, and that we're going to most likely as well see Blue Kraken next year as well. Next up is Arena Series Central, which will feature Brandon Vincent and Gravedigger, Tony Oaks and the Punisher, Cody Saucier and Dragon, Mark List and El Toro Loco, Brendan Talachka and Jessica Dunn, Michaela Talachka and Megalodon, Zach Garner, Wildside, and John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Now, so far, guys, currently with all the drivers we have currently driving right now in Monster Jam, and hardly any of them would really fit behind the wheel of a Marvel truck except for a few. I can see Todd LeDuc and Thor since, Thor kind of does have, like, thunder and stuff like that on this truck, so that's why I do think Todd LeDuc could fit Thor really well. He can fit Thor really well. I think Bernard Light just can fit Black Panther as well. And since Tony Oaks did drive the Punisher back in 2017 for the last Houston show, so I do think he's gonna drive that. I'm putting Markless on an Arena Tourist because what we're going to be seeing later on Stadium Series Blue. You'll see why I'm putting Markless, unfortunately, back into the arenas, because there's not enough spots with the FELD drivers between Red Tour and Blue Tour or for Markless to be in a stadium. I am predicting Markless will keep his El Toro Loco. Next up is Arena Series East, which is going to feature Wesley Anderson and Gravedigger, Armando Castro and El Toro Loco, Lindsey Reed and Mossberg Dalmatian, Blake Granger and SpongeBob SquarePants, Travis Mowry and Velociraptor, Hunter Souza and Wrecking Machine, Chad Tingler and Spider-Man, and Shane Freed and Hooked. I'm predicting because, guys, it's kind of like a joke, but I really would love to see a SpongeBob SquarePants monster truck. Currently, though, the SpongeBob license has been given to Hot Wheels, but I do hope Spin Master can get a hold of the SpongeBob license, because then if we can get a SpongeBob truck in Monster Jam, maybe we can finally get to hear Sweet Victory be played at Monster Jam World Finals, because we are in the Music City after all, so we should have Sweet Victory be played at Monster Jam World Finals, because that would be really cool. I love SpongeBob. I've always wanted to see it as a monster truck. I'd always love to see my two hobbies, Monster Jam and SpongeBob, combined and collide, and this would be the perfect one by having a SpongeBob Monster Jam truck. We do have Travis Mowry next year. He's going to drive Velociraptor. He's going to be driving a new blue paint scheme that they actually did reveal, so I cannot wait to see that. Now there's only really a few other Team Throttle Monster teammates left. I picked Hunter Souza because I just don't think Jeff Souza will drive. Paul Jensen has never driven in the arenas. He's been scheduled to drive many arenas this year, whether or not be for Stadium Series Yellow, Arena Series East, or some second quarter arena shows like Albuquerque, New Mexico. He never made it. He just doesn't do the arenas. So I don't think Zach Jensen's gonna do it either. We haven't seen him driven since, I believe, Calgary in Canada. So I just don't think he's gonna be there either. So that only leaves one option left, which is gonna be Hunter Souza. So that's why I'm gonna put him in Wrecking Machine. And then predicted Chad Tingler did drive Spider-Man back in the old days, like I believe from 2010 to 2013 or 2012. He drove the Spider-Man truck. So I think he would be a really good fit here. And also, Spider-Man would be run on the Stone Crusher chassis. Then Shane Freed Hooked, just have Hooked behind the wheel and back. Now, to be honest, Hooked throughout the entirety of the second quarter has been kind of trippy as far as drivers. Shane Freed was supposed to drive Hooked in many different second quarter shows, such as New Orleans, Sunrise, Duluth, the Back to School Bash, Rosemont, and now in Dayton, Ohio, but he's never made it to any of those shows. He's always had to fill in with Chad Tingler, I believe, filled in for Sunrise. He filled in for New Orleans, Sunrise, Back to School Bash, and Back to School Bash. He drove Hooked, but we have not seen Hooked since the Back to School Bash. Dayton, Ohio, John Zimmer Jr. is actually going to drive it, so that's going to be very exciting to see that this weekend. But I do hope Hooked will come back. Next up is Stadium Series Blue. I'm predicting we're going to have Tyler Mennigan and Gravedigger, Barry Musauer and Zombie, Charlie Palkin and Monster Mud, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. We're going to have Morgan Kane and Iron Man, Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer, Corey Romo and Megalodon, Jim Kohler and Avenger, John Gordon and Bad Company, Ryan Disherin and Saigon Shaker, Joe Foley and Axe, and Chris Kohler and Brutus. Now, my explanation is, Morgan Kane, he's driven like ever since 2020, with his last big stadium Monster Jam show being in Jacksonville 2020. He hasn't hardly driven. He drove Hooked a few times last year, and this year he's hardly made an appearance. He did appear as actually a commentary for Monster Jam World Finals 21. But he did have to say at World Finals 21 that I think there's unfinished business still and that he may return. He was supposed to drive Max D in the Australian Tour, which I believe he was supposed to drive in Melbourne. but I think that was just a mistake because Colt Stevens drove Max D, those Sydney and Melbourne, and also Colt Stevens, I believe, drove it in Tampere, Finland. Maxi will also be coming back behind the wheel this week with Mark List, which will be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Maxi also going to make other appearances, like I believe he's going to be in the Santiago, Dominican Republic show in late November, as well as the Arnhem in the Netherlands in early December. So that's going to be interesting things, but I do think Morgan Ken could come back next year. He could drive Iron Man. Putting Charlie Pauken just to come back in Monster Mode, because I do love the Monster Mode. Can't wait to see Charlie Pauken, what he's going to be doing next year, because I think he may drive next year, because he's driving Monster Mode Rottweiler for some of the overseas shows, like San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I think maybe there's other shows. I think he may be driving in the Dominican Republic, as well as maybe even in Arnhem in the Netherlands. As far as the independents go, Joe Foley and Chris Kohler. Since maybe there's rumors, like maybe Jamie Garner and Gene Scream have been talking, like maybe Kohler wants to run Axe and Brutus this year, and since he doesn't want to have an El Toro Loco on his team for Team Scream, maybe he's like communicating with Jamie Garner to maybe drive it. So, but I do think Joe Foley fits better in an Axe than what he would Brutus. So I'm putting him in Axe, and then Chris Kohler, I just put Brutus in there. Unless Joe Foley was to drive Spike, but I think honestly we should just keep Megalodon, Avenger, Axe, and Brutus. Have Brutus finally compete in the first quarter tour for the third time. The only two times he's done that was 2016 and 2017. So I do hope maybe we can have Brutus back in the sport, or we can have Joe Foley finally come back and join the team. Now we do have missing out drivers and missing out trucks and drivers. Unfortunately, there is going to be no Craig Champion. He's a really good driver, but we haven't had news that he is no more part of Team Scream. Unless Joe Foley also could drive El Toro Loco as well. But we also do have missing out trucks. Rockwell Red. Kind of wish Bailey Shea drove it, but unfortunately it's not enough thing on here. Kurt Kramer, unfortunately, will not be back to drive the Ram Munition. And he's going to be in, I think he's going to be in Hot Seat next year. We have, Stone Crusher, Chad Tanger's going to drive Spider-Man on the Stone Crusher chassis, so there's not enough room for Stone Crusher. Excalibur, we don't have another Team Tomfoolery driver yet to drive the Excalibur, unless Charlie Pauken wants to come back to drive it, or maybe, Brooke Pagriludo, or maybe somebody else on the team from Team Tomfoolery can drive it. No Whiplash. Unfortunately, Brianna Mahan is currently pregnant. She is due in March, so the Whiplash will not be able to compete. Recreation Michael Pagariludo. Not enough room on the tours, and I don't think the truck is ready. It can't fit in any of the tunnels in the arenas, and so they may run it a few times during the stadiums, but no Recreation next year. No Batman, and as Marvel trucks are returning, unfortunately, there may not be no DC trucks. Unfortunately, the contract with Warner Bros. is unfortunately expiring. We just don't have enough room for Scooby-Doo or Miranda Kozad for next year. Travis Mowry is running Velociraptor next year, so we won't see Velociraptor running Velociraptor next year, so we're not going to see Extreme Attitude. Tyler Duca, from what I'm predicting, is going to run Blue Thunder. So it's gonna run Thor, not Blue Thunder. So I'm thinking there's Blue Thunder is gonna be back next year. Superman, unfortunately, no more DC trucks. Wolverine, unfortunately, there's not enough room. We already have our 5 Marvel trucks, not enough room for a Wolverine. No Captain America, not enough room for Captain America or any drivers that could fit this truck. Look like Chad Fortune. No Paul Jensen and Jurassic Attack, not enough room this year for Team Throttle Monster, or from what I'm predicting. Not enough room so far for first quarter for Brittany Marcotte and Zombie. Maybe we'll have to wait and see her in second quarter shows. Not enough room for also have Colt Stevens to come out here and represent the 20 years of Max D or a Marvel truck. No Wonder Woman since the contract with the Warner Bros. Expired. No Tony Oaks since I'm predicting he's gonna drive the Punisher. Or unfortunately, we're not gonna be seeing him drive Soldier of Fortune Black Ops next year. Kaylin Miguez is also currently pregnant and also has stopped doing stuff for Monster Jam, so unfortunately she's not going to be there next year. No drivers fit enough to drive Hulk. Well, I almost think I can see Jim Kohler drive Hulk, but I think we'd rather see him in Avenger, not Hulk. Corey Rummel's running Megalodon next year, so no Rage. Brandon Darrow in Bad News Travels Fast. There's not enough room, and other people said he's highly likely to not be competing in Monster Jam next year, except for a few shows. So no Bad News Travels Fast either with Brandon Darrow. We talked to Brandon Budd at the pit party in Orlando, and so unfortunately he's going to be competing on Toughest Truck Tour next year, so there's going to be no Brandon Budd in Wasted Nights. And since Bernard Light is currently gonna drive from my predictions, driving Black Panther next year, there's gonna be no room for Emoji Strong to be out here and represented. Now guys, this is gonna be it for today's video. But guys, this has it's gonna be it for today's video. My next video, guys, is gonna be dropping shortly. Maybe who knows when it will be uploaded before the other. It's gonna be my Spin Master wish list for 2023. So yeah, that'll be my next video dropping. I hope you did enjoy the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Also, guys, remember this video has nothing. Now, guys, none of this stuff is confirmed. Besides the stuff that was revealed in the scheduled announcement show back in September. None of this stuff is confirmed. All of this stuff is merely predictions. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of these drivers will be on different tours. Maybe I'm going to get some of these right. But we'll just have to see for later on in November when the Driver Summit gets announced, which I will definitely be covering. This also, guys, has nothing to do with my pool table, Monster Jam Arenas, or Monster Jam Steel Titans shows for next year. This has nothing to do with that. So yeah, guys, that'll be it for today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that like and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload. Alright, that'll be the end of today's video. We'll see you all next time. Have a good day.